All right, let's do this. Very good. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Terry, your host. I hope you're all doing great. I know that I'm doing so-so. I haven't drank in quite a while, and I had some friends stop over yesterday, and boy, did I tie one on. I swear I have forgotten what having a hangover is all about. Ooh-wee, Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy, it's a miracle that I showed up today in the studio, but the idea of staying home and not doing anything is like just beyond me. Anyways, like usual, what are we going to do? We're going to go over to the computer, we're going to check out what we did yesterday, and we're going to take it from there. So let's get over to the computer. And what did we do? Let's check our little recap of yesterday. Well, we picked up the painting from the splattering of the day before, put it back on the wall, and then we cut it in half because we did want to make a diptych of this painting. After that, we put this beautiful blue, cobalt blue, as the background to our flowers, and we followed through with a little bit of white paint. So that is what we did yesterday. And today, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to continue basically by painting in these two bands, two little columns on each side of this painting. We're going to do, I think, two yellow streaks and then a green in the middle. That is basically what I see. And they'll probably need two coats. So we're going to go ahead and put down that first coat today, and then probably, well, we'll see how quickly it dries, but it's so cold and damp in the studio that I doubt it's going to be dry for that second coat today. So no big deal. We'll do that Monday before the holidays days kick in. So let's get to work right away. What do I need? I basically need, there we go, already my first paint on my fingers. That didn't take very long. So first what I got to do is draw out where I want to put my two lines. So I'm just going to use the edge of my ruler, because that looks like about the right width of what I want. Works out very nicely. Don't have to measure anything. So I'm just going to, there we go, on one side and another line on the other side. There we go. How does that look? Okay, that looks pretty good. So let's get this other side done. And I'm probably going to start with the yellow paint and then do the green right afterwards. There. Let's take it down here. There we go. And right here. Et voila. Okay, now let's get the yellow paint. Yes, this is kind of the azo yellow medium. I swear. Always a different name for the same yellow. Okay, so let's go with this azo yellow. And for that, I'm going to get my knife right here. So I think this is going to be a relatively short stream because it's not going to take me forever to do this. And like I said, I don't think it'll be dry for me to put a second coat. Now, of course, if we were in the summertime, I would put my fan on full blast and I'm sure it'd be dry. But there is no way in the world I'm going to do that now with this being as cold as it is right now. So, let me just clean off my knife here, and then find the right brush, and then we'll try to get the right consistency of the paint before we lay it down. Okay. Ready or not, here I come. Okay, got that done. Now let's find the right brush here. Now I have several choices, and I assume this one is going to be just perfect. Or I could even go maybe just a whisker larger, wider. I mean, I obviously don't want to be too sloppy here either. So maybe this is the right brush. We can try with this brush, and if it doesn't work out, well, we'll just switch brushes. No big deal. Okay, so let's just work this paint together. Not going to be very complicated. For that, I'll even go to my camera number 1 over here. And I'll just turn it over like this. I have some water down here. And we can just work this out together. I mean, this is not quantum physics. Not very complicated to do, just water and a little bit of, I was going to say elbow grease, but even that would be a great exaggeration. Let's just mix all this together. A little bit more water here. I do want to get that right consistency, and yet at the same time want to keep the opacity to the max, even though I'm pretty sure we'll have to put 2 coats on. Usually we have to, so I'm not even sure I have enough paint in here for both. Actually, we're doing 4 columns of this yellow, so no big deal. Since we don't have to match any colors, I can just add more yellow later if I don't have enough. So how's this look? Nice and creamy, I must say. I'm just going to put one little last dab of water. Just one last little dab will do ya of water. Yes, that's just as very nice. Okay. So I'll bring the camera back up. Bring it over here. And I'm going to tackle that upper left-hand side. So I'm just going to move the camera over to this side right here. Bring it up a little bit. There we go. Like that, I'm sure I won't be standing in front of the lens. And so let's tackle this. I'm just going to step back for just 1 second. Step back and take a look. And make sure I'm ready to do this. There are little areas where I should have done that yesterday. Put some white paint. There will be a little black edge. So I guess I'm all set. Okay. 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 I know do have to take a few seconds to think all this stuff out. Okay, very good. Let's get back to work then. So where am I at here on my cameras? Oops. Yeah, excuse me. Well, I told you it was kind of cold in the studio, and as you can see, I wasn't exaggerating. So let's get back to work. I'll come up here. And this brush is nice and soft, and the paint is going wonderfully, but it's a little too wide. I'm not going to have the control I want with this brush, so I'm just going to take another one that's slightly smaller. And how's this going to work? This one looks fine. Okay, so I'll use this one instead. I know this is going to go quickly, but I don't want to be too sloppy either. So, okay, like usual, I'm going to step back and take a look. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very good. So I'm going to put some music on. This is again my friends Diego on the violin, Jacek on the guitar, and Lucien on the drum. So much nicer to paint with music rather than hear me talk about how drunk I was last night. So let's go for it, and I'll get back to work. Yes, this brush is working out much better. So this will definitely need 2 coats, as I mentioned earlier. I can tell. No big deal. Okay, I did have to make some more yellow for the second side, as we kind of figured out earlier. So, no big deal. Get this to the right consistency, and then we'll get back to work. I'll notice that little pop-up window that opens up without being invited, which is kind of annoying, but I'll take care of that in a minute. Well, quite frankly, this is the ideal kind of work for when you're hungover. It's great. Honestly. That's what I thought, that little pop-up window again. Okay, very good. Got this done. Thank you, gentlemen, for the music. I'm going to just stop for a few seconds. I appreciate it. Don't have to worry about the copyrights from YouTube with this music. Plus, it's very enjoyable to listen to while you're painting. So, let's pull everything back here. Get camera number 1 back to its spot so I can just go back and think things out. Okay. So yes, obviously this will never be dry for the second coat. And I hope it's not going to give me any trouble while I'm putting down the green paint. Okay, so the green. The green, the green, the green. I have quite a few different kinds of greens, including this this dark olive green. Brand new tube. I must have one that's open somewhere else, like right here maybe, since I use a lot of different greens when I do my jungle settings. Ooh, this is called hooker green. Hooker green permanent. Oh, yes. But I'm going to go in my back room and check out my other greens. So, I have several other choices right here. What is this one called? Permanent green deep. It feels kind of empty though. And then, oops, no, this is turquoise. Nothing to do with the greens. And then a permanent dark green. And then, of course, I do have my usual light green here. Okay, so let me just step back, check this out, and think this out. I did want a darker kind of green. Plus, I want to do some shading to it. So do I go with dark and then the shading light, or do I go with a light and the shading dark? So I'm not exactly sure what this is. I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger so I can check out the real color of this. Oh, this is a nice green, I must say. Okay. It's a nice green right there. And then I had this darker one here, right? This was the olive. Yes, the dark olive green. So let's see what this looks like. Just put a little bit on my finger again. This is more or less the one that I had in mind. I guess somewhere my eyes saw this kind of green. Though this hooker green, that sounds tempting too. But anyways, we'll put the hooker for another time on the side. And I'm going to go with this dark olive green. And I need a rag here. There we go. Okay, so we are going to go with this dark green. And I am going to use probably this brush here. Or maybe I should go with this slightly whiter brush. In fact, I have a whole bunch of other brushes right here as well. But I want one with very soft hairs so you don't see the streak of the paint. What's this guy going to do? I think I'll use this brush right here. And where are we here on the camera? Oh yes, I still have this little pop-up window, which is so annoying when it pops up on its own. And what happens if I switch cameras? Let me just do this a few seconds. Okay, camera number 1, the pop-up doesn't show up. So that's a good sign, since I usually go between camera number 1, camera number 2. And I rarely use my webcam, which is camera number 3, except to say hello and goodbye. Because these are HD cameras, and my webcam, I think it's only 720p, so not quite as good. The quality isn't quite as good. So let me get a palette. And while I'm talking and blabbing away, it does give my yellow paint a little bit more time to dry, which is a little bit what I was doing. Okay, let's try this. Okay. So, like before, I'm going to just put a little dab of water in there, and we can work it out together to get the right consistency, though it looks like... Okay, let me get back to camera number 1 here. I'll bring this down. I'll zoom in a little bit, and I'll just switch over cameras to number 1 right here. So I'm just going to move the paint into the water, and we're just going to work all this together. I can tell I'm going to need more paint, though. So instead of wasting my time, I'm going to just add the more paint right now. I'll bring this back up. Come back over here. And where's my green? Right here. Just a little bit more like that. Just add a little bit more water. And I'll come back to my camera number 1 right here, which I will bring down. And we can work on our dark olive green. Which, of course, this is just the background. I will put some shading on this, as with the yellow. Though the yellow, I'm going to have to put a second coat, definitely. Yep, I'm pretty sure I'll need a second coat on the yellow and then put some shading on that. So we'll do that Monday. Next week, I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be since we are so close to Christmas. I do have a bunch of shopping to do. Oh, this is a nice green, isn't it? Nice dark green. But I don't think I'm going to have enough paint there still. But we'll start with this. How about that? So I'll bring the camera back up. Like usual, we're going to start on that upper left-hand corner. Right about there. And I'll actually just move this camera over, like usual, to make sure that I'm not standing in front of it. There we go. So let's tackle this right away. And maybe I'll just try this like this first. It's an awfully dark green, I must say. Okay, I'll just do the shading in the lighter green. And I'm going to go back and put some music back on as I'm painting. So where am I here? Let's go here. There we go. Use the double cameras. Okay, very good. Bring my chair over. There we go. I love it, chole. Whatever the hell he was saying. I have no idea what it means. I don't think I have enough paint for this side, but I'll start anyways.
va palazzo dreni brazzo rocciarane oh ne brose dronia brose u paraskora marazzini arattoroccia ma amarazzo vendorocci broccerà cattara condara
There we go. And I'll bring my chair over for this last section. Let's put this down here. Pull this back a little bit. There we go. Opa. Okay, the final stretch right here, and we'll be done for the day. Obviously, this green paint will not need a second coat, I don't think, for sure. Seeing how dark it is and how well it covers. And with my hangover, I'm doing pretty good here. Not too much the shakes, which is excellent. So, all right, very good, very good. So there's one angle, and there's the other angle. So very good. Very good. I'm glad I came in, got this done. Now on Monday we'll have to probably put a second yellow coat on. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe just go with the shading of the yellow, the shading of the green. And then there'll be little black outlines on all four of these. Very thin black outlines. And then we'll come back to the centerpiece. But, so, we are Friday today. Christmas is next Friday. So, Thursday I definitely will not be in. Wednesday I won't be in either. So, I'm not sure. I'll be in Monday for sure. Maybe Tuesday. I don't know yet. we'll have to see how things go. Anyways, I guess I can go back to the computer and we can wrap this up. I want to thank you again for joining me, get all that fuzz out of the way, joining me on today's stream. I hope again that you'll join me next Monday for the continuation of this painting. I want to wish you all a wonderful weekend. I know that I'm going to enjoy myself. There are a lot of football games on, and my son and I are pretty psyched, even though our teams are constantly losing. But that's the way it goes. Especially if you're a supporter of Arsenal Football Club, it's a catastrophe. But anyways, like usual, I'm going to leave you with my schedule, even though next week it's going to be kind of off, but at least it's a good way for me to sign off. Also by saying, ciao mes amis.